but I just can't find it. I think Watt is too disruptive, and Pittsburgh wins this one.
Yeah, losing Alt and the running game is still struggling, obviously, without Hampton. They don't know when Hampton's going to come back. I have Kadani on one of my fantasy teams. I'm not going to start him this week. I'm going to take Pittsburgh on the road. How do we feel about this, Pat?
All right, this is one of those games that I don't have a great feel for. So one of two things are going to happen. The Steelers are going to continue, get several turnovers, and win this game. They do seem to win in L.A. a fair amount, either against the Rams or the Chargers. You'd have to look at their record, but are able to run the ball. And as wacky as that sounds, that they lost both their tackles, that's what'll happen. It'll be something nutty like, we shut down Jonathan Taylor last week, and then I don't even know who the Charger running back is.
Who's it now?
Nobody. Yeah. And then he'll have a great game. So if the Steelers lose, it'll because they get the ball rushed down their throats. But if they win, it'll be another 3-4 turnover game, and Herbert throws a bunch of interceptions or something like that. I'm leaning towards Steelers in this one because, like I said, my eye is more on the Chicago game a few weeks from now. But I'll take the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm now Monday night. We're moving on to Monday night's game. That is Philadelphia at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 2.
This should be actually a really good game because I know Green Bay's got to feel embarrassed by losing to Carolina last week. They're at home. They're going to be up. But this is where a championship team goes into a hostile environment like the Eagles have done already in several cases and just finds a way to win this game. I think it'll be a relatively low-scoring game, like 16-13 or something like that. But I think this is maybe the start of the championship run again for the Eagles and a statement game. And I think Green Bay is going to give them a good game. But this is where the champs show why they're the champs, and I think the Eagles win.
See, this is why I'm so mad that they lost to Carolina last week, because had they won that game, the hype is going to be even bigger. But because now they lost to Carolina home, especially too, it's like, okay, now this Green Bay team seems very fraudulent now. So in no way should Green Bay be favored in this game whatsoever. Okay, Philly's come off a bye, number 1. Okay, they're a better team, number 2, and the Packers lose probably their best player on offense, not named Jordan Love, right now. This can get ugly, honestly. I think it's getting really ugly. I know Green Bay will show up for the game. The defense may make some plays here and there, but ultimately, Philadelphia they made some big trades this week, and I just think, as Pat said, now's the time you see teams rise to the top, and I think Philadelphia will do that. They'll win and cover.
Yeah, everybody's forgetting. The Eagles did acquire Alexander.
Jair Alexander, yep.
And he's a Green Bay guy, so he's going to be coming in and hopefully contribute on the outside, on some of those one-on-one matchups. But Green Bay lost their number 1 target. I mean, Love was leaning on that guy for everything, and you're just not going to get the separation or the catch radius with the backup tight end, whoever that might be. Philly adds an edge. Brandon Graham comes back this week. He's going to be playing and contributing a little bit. And then you add Phillips attacking from the edge. I think this is where Philly continues to keep that stride, and they go in and they handle Green Bay. Again, you talk about the best quarterback on the field. Jordan Love, he threw some bad stuff last week. I mean, you could talk about losing that game, but he made some plays that you just scratch your head at.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see how he steps up on the big scene. This is a pretty big thing. But, yeah, again, the Eagles, they haven't played. This will be 15 days you're playing on Monday night. This is a long time off. So, yeah, go Birds.
Yep, I'm taking the Eagles to win big at Lambeau in this one. That's, again, the Monday night game. Those are our picks for the week. We'll be doing quick picks in just a few minutes. While we have Pat on the phone, I didn't want to talk about this without him because we don't really know a lot about hockey.
No.
But the Florida Panthers right now are struggling. They're 6-1, coming off a big loss to the Anaheim Ducks yesterday, marking their 4th straight loss to Anaheim. And during the game, Florida fell behind with 5 unanswered goals in the 3rd period. Bobrovsky is not doing well. He's allowed 7 goals a season high in Tuesday's loss. It was his 5th start in the last 6 games in which he allowed at least 3 goals. Are we worried right now about the Panthers, Pat?
Absolutely, Mike. I talked to my son, who's as you guys know, is more of a Panther fan than I think anybody alive. They're in last place. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this team. I know a lot of guys got paid, and sometimes you have a sort of a setback. Like guys just don't feel like putting in the effort and all that kind of stuff. But this is a very high quality team. This isn't a bunch of you know radical free agents that are completely me guys or anything like that. They're really a good team, and I really didn't think paying these guys was going to have any kind of a detrimental impact on them. Yeah, you mentioned Bobrovsky. He's getting older, and he a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago, he had stretches like this where he gave up a lot of goals and a lot of bad goals. But I thought we were kind of over that. Now, being older, maybe it's just an age factor with him, but you never saw the Panthers. I don't even know if last year if they got beat 7-3 by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And those were not empty net goals. So I have a high level of concern. I think if Brad Marchand was not on this team, they might not have won a game yet. So they got to get it together. Barkov being out hurts, absolutely. But Barkov goes through seasons where he's out for big stretches every year. So just not having him is not an excuse. They're used to playing without him for big stretches every year. So it just can't be him. There's got to be something going on with these guys that they got to turn the light on here fairly quickly. Early November. But you get into late December and you're still not really in playoff. They just need to get to the playoff. They don't have to win the division, any of that stuff. We've seen that if they get in the playoffs, they can do it. But you got to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
You can't be 10, 12, 15 points out of the playoffs coming late December and then all of a sudden think you're just going to turn it on. There's a lot of teams that are playing good. Montreal, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. There's a lot of teams that are playing good that you might have thought weren't going to be that good this year. So they better get their head out of their rear end soon. Got to play the Kings, who just won their first home game. They got to play San Jose, who they should beat. Then they got to play Vegas, who's a tough team. They got to win 2 out of these 3 games and get back home and start winning some damn games. I don't know what Paul Maurice or whatever, what words of wisdom he's got, but something needs to be injected in these guys, or they're going to find themselves being fat and happy in last place and 2-time winners, and that's it. And that's a shame because they really do have the talent to win 3 or 4 cups in a row if they want to, but you got to want to. And that kind of display last night, that ain't going to cut it.
So I think that's something we can't overlook, and is that, okay, so you win the Stanley Cup, you play until June, and everybody else is done when?
April 1st,
okay.
and
then you have a short season, you come back, and you do it again.
Yeah.
There's got to be some fatigue at some point, okay? So then you get to the point where you're fatigued, where you're spending 6 weeks or 8 weeks less with your family than everybody else is, and the other things on vacation or relaxing and recovering. Right. And you're playing that much more hockey, and you got to go back at it again. And then you combine that with the fact that you just won 2 Stanley Cups, and how much weight does the third carry? I get it, but I think the fatigue sets in. I think that's what we're talking about here.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing, especially in the NBA too. Also, that's why you don't see as many dynasties anymore, because it's the same situation. Yeah. And for context, real quick, they are right now in last place in the Eastern Conference now. Now, having said that, they're only 6 points away from first place in the East. So there's still a lot of figuring out there. There's still a lot of like positioning going on right now, 1 month into the season. So I'm not overly concerned yet. I said before the year started, the goal here for the Panthers is forget about seeding, just get in. And look, this is the 4th year in a row. They've done 3 years in a row where they have played into June. Remember, they lost the first year to Vegas.
Yeah,
then
a lot of hockey.
So they play a lot of hockey. Yeah. So the whole thing, fatigue is a real thing. Mm-hmm. Just get in, get guys healthy. Who's out now? Is Kachuk out till whatever?
Yeah.
February?
Out
so once you get them back, I think they'll be fine overall. But is there concerns in the short term? Yes. Am I confident they'll turn it around? Also, yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping for our hometown Panthers. I think all of us could agree we're Panther fans, and we're rooting for them to come back. Now let's talk about sports betting picks of the week. Might as well move on to sports betting. I have a pick for you for tomorrow night's game. I picked the Broncos to win against my Raiders. I'm taking a Genty touchdown after the bye week. I'm hoping that rookies usually perform better, and I'm taking Ashton Genty to score a touchdown. Bowers over 5.5 5.5 receptions. I think that one is the easiest one. RJ Harvey over 20.5 yards for the Broncos. He isn't the starter, but I think this guy gets a lot of touches too, especially around the end zone. And that bet right there is plus 750. You bet 25 to win 212, and you're probably going to get a bonus bet on that too, so you could put that up to at least 225. So that's my sports bet of the night for tomorrow night. What about you, Ernest?
Well, I'm gonna have a get-rich scheme here. I'm gonna try here. There we go. I'm doing something. I'm doing something here I would never ever do normally because I'm done betting spreads. However, I'm gonna try this out.
Okay.
This for the value. So hear me out here. It's a 7. I think it's a 7-legger here.
Watch him hit
Whoa.
this.
So
Watch
here we
him
go.
hit this.
Raiders plus 9 against the Broncos tomorrow night. Okay. Dolphins plus 9 against the Bills. Okay.
Wow.
Here we go.
Buccaneers.
Sorry you lost your parlay.
I know. Buccaneers minus 2.5 over the Patriots to win. The Browns minus 2.5 against the Jets. The Seahawks minus 6.5 against the Cardinals. The Lions to cover 9 points against the Commanders on the road. And then your boys on Monday Night Football plus 2 against the Packers. You bet $100, you make $9,256.
Okay.
And 32 cents.
Hey, can I borrow $100, Ernest?
Sure.
Just give it to
Yeah,
me.
I'm gonna lay $100 bill on fire. I'm going with something simpler. I am that confident about the Detroit situation and them going into Washington. I'm going with the alternate line. I haven't seen what it is. I couldn't pull it up right now. But I'm gonna try whatever the maximum alternate line, whether I could get Detroit minus 21 or something. I'm taking that.
I don't hate it.
And I'm gonna print money. That's what I'm.
I don't hate it at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pat, anything sports betting wise?
Well, I mean, if you guys followed me last week, you would have made a lot of money if you went the opposite of what I said.
Do that again, Pat.
I said Toronto was going to win. I said Clemson was going to win, and I think I had the Panthers losing at home to. I thought it was New Jersey, but it was Dallas. So I lost all those. So do the opposite of what I'm going to say now. Clemson's playing Florida State, I think, this week.
That's right.
Florida State up and down too. Clemson's defense is historically bad. They're one of the worst college defenses I've ever seen. Giving up 46 to Duke and losing at home for the first time since 1980 is unheard of for a Clemson team. I'm jumping all over Florida State. I don't care what the line is, and go with the over. Whatever the over is in that game, it ain't enough because Clemson's defense can't stop a cold. So that's my big bet for this week.
Pat, I'm so glad you brought Clemson. I have to ask you before we get out of here, your thoughts on Dabo's post-game press conference last week.
I think Dabo is finally realizing that this team actually stinks, and he he was very defiant for the first few losses, and now he's just sort of becoming whimsical and just like, I don't know, maybe they're going to fire me. I don't think they're going to fire him, but I think what's going to happen in this offseason is they're going to say, Dabo, you need to start using the transfer portal a lot.
Yes,
and you need to get rid of these 2 coordinators. And hopefully the quarterback that they got, because Klubnik's gone, thank God, whoever the backup is now is somebody that can actually hit a receiver on 3rd and 5 and get a completion. So I think they're going to tell Dabo, it's time to start changing your philosophy a little bit.
I agree.
And maybe he'll listen to him. I think Dabo likes Clemson and wants to stay there, but he's not stupid. He has to know that this ain't working, and you got to start doing some radical things here with this team. The expectations are just way too high to be. This team ain't even going to make a bowl game this year. I mean, with number 4 in the country in the preseason and not making a bowl game, they got to make some changes. I don't think Dabo gets the boot, but I think if they have another year like this next year, he's going to.
I agree with that. Yeah,
quick shout out to a local player, a college player, Chauncey Bowens from Benjamin. The running back actually scored the go-ahead score against Florida this week.
That's
so
awesome.
shout out to Chauncey. Yeah, the local home
Georgia game
kid.
too.
Great
Nice.
kid. Great kid. Yeah.
Well, now let's move on to our favorite segment of the show, and that is called Quick Picks.
We have to break the record here.
Okay, let's move through them quick. Thursday night's game: Las Vegas at Denver. Denver favored by 8.5.
Denver wins, but Vegas covers.
Same with that.
Yeah, I'm going Denver.
Taking Denver at home now. Sunday morning game: Atlanta at Indianapolis. Indy favored by 6.
Big game for Indy. I think they win, but I got a little trepidation there. I'm worried. But I'm taking Indy.
Must win for the Colts, and they do it. Give me the Colts.
I'm taking Indy.
Colts in a must-win. Giants at Bears. Bears favored by 3.5.
Going to take the Bears, but this is not a strong pick. I don't like either one of these teams.
The Bears are a weirdo team, but the Bears win this game.
Yeah, Dart will be throwing darts. I'm going with the
I hope you're
Giants.
right.
The Bears. Buffalo comes to Miami favored by 9.
I like Buffalo big here. I think Miami got their one win of the year a couple weeks ago, and they're folding 10. So I'm going to take Buffalo big.
Call me crazy. Dolphins on the points. Bills do win, though.
Yeah, Josh Allen for the win.
Yeah, you're crazy. I'm taking
Thank
Buffalo on the road. Baltimore at Minnesota. Baltimore favored by 3.5.
I think game of the week. I'm going to
like
take
that.
Baltimore until Lamar proves me wrong. But Minnesota's a good team, so this should be a really good game.
Definitely a sneaky game of the week here. I'll take the Ravens, but this Vikings team is very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings.
I'm taking Baltimore on the road. Cleveland at the Jets. Cleveland favored by 2.5.
Dog of the week. Cleveland should win this game. They have a little out than the Jets, but I'm going with the factor that the Jets have just purged themselves of their best defensive guys, so they'll probably play a really good defensive game. So I'm going to take the Jets.
This is a game we'll take a nap for, but I'll take the Browns.
I'm taking the Browns.
Taking the Browns. Now New England at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay favored by 2.5.
Another good game going venue here. I'm taking Tampa.
The Tom Brady Bowl, give me the Bucks.
Tampa and those cannons.
I'm taking the Patriots on the road. Now New Orleans at Carolina. Carolina favored by 5.
Yeah, this one surprised me if Carolina crapped the bed and actually lost this game, but I don't think they can. New Orleans is that bad. I'm going to take Carolina.
We're in a world. We see a 6-4 Panthers team. We are. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm with James Taylor, and in my mind, I'm going to Carolina.
I love that song.
I like that.
I love that song, and I'm taking
Good job.
Carolina at home. Jacksonville at Houston. Houston favored by 1.5.
I'm very, very wary of this, but I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Yeah.
They've crushed me a lot, but they got to win this game. Stroud's not playing. They're a better team. They should win.
Take a Jags seriously. Win this game. Give me Jags.
Yeah, I'll take the Jags.
Jaguars. Now moving on to Arizona at Seattle. Seattle favored by 6.5.
I'm going to take Seattle, but Arizona's got something with Jacoby Brissett. I think they keep the game close, but Seattle wins.
Yeah, Seattle too, but Arizona can definitely make things a little weird.
Yeah, I'll take Arizona to cover.
I'm taking Arizona for the upset. Now Rams at 49ers. Rams favored by 3.5.
I really like the Rams here, and I don't know why. 49ers are a good team. A lot of injuries, but I just think the Rams, revenge game for them after losing at home, so I'm going to take the Rams.
Niners been a great story this year, but the Rams are cooking now. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, Rams are playing good. I'll take the Rams.
We're all taking the Rams. Detroit at Washington. Detroit favored by 8.5.
No logical reason to take Washington here. Detroit should absolutely spank them. I'm going to take Detroit.
Detroit by 50.
I don't know if Pat and I have ever been this far apart in our pick. Detroit's going to win big.
Detroit by 100. Now Pittsburgh at the Chargers. Chargers favored by 3.
Nothing to base this on. I just think the Steelers, for whatever reason, seem to play well in Los Angeles. So I'm going to say that they come up with some more turnovers or something and end up winning this game.
I should pick the Steelers, but they haven't shown me a complete game this yet, so give me the Chargers.
Yeah,
Stay away, though.
I'm going to take the Steelers and Watt against some rookie tackle that's going to be in there.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers on the road. And now Monday night's game. A good one, too. Philly at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 2.
I got to go with the Eagles here. I think this is where championship teams start making their run, and this would be a perfect spot. Everybody thinks Green Bay is really good. I think they're okay, but the Eagles are really good.
Packers are frauds. The Eagles are back. They're healthier, and this is their time to shine. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles here.
Fly, Eagles, fly. And that was Quick Picks.